SureTrader tips and tricks. Today we're going to talk about some of my tricks and tips to making SureTrader a little bit more bearable. And also this is going to apply to Dash Trader Pro. So Dash Trader Pro, SureTrader tips and tricks. Let's get into it. I just want to give a little breakdown on some of the questions. I get a lot of questions about SureTrader. A lot of people ask me questions. A lot of people email me, message me, and they want to learn more. So I'm going to make this video and try to address all of those questions and also give you guys some tips and some tricks to make it easier to use SureTrader if you are using this platform. This is the Dash Trader Pro SureTrader platform. So this is going to apply for all types of brokers, not just for SureTrader, but in general, if you are using this platform, you can use this advice. Don't be shy. You can change your setup however you want. And you can move charts around, you can put your time in sales, you can put anything you want. That's the really cool thing about Dash Trader Pro is you can change things around, you can do really whatever you want. Something that I learned recently, actually, this is kind of a cool thing. It might not be a cool thing to you, but it might make it a little easier. So if you actually click on the window, let's click on this montage window here. If you right click on it, and then I go here, it'll say no title bar. Well, what's that gonna do is if I take the title away there, it's gonna give me a little bit more space there on my screen. I don't really need that title anyway, so I'm gonna go there to click no title bar, and it's gonna give me a little bit more room there. A lot of people ask me, it might not be so much for people who aren't recording, but maybe this could be cool if you are recording. If you wanna configure your chart, what I like to do is I like to add the symbol so that I know exactly if I'm looking at a chart what symbol it is. All you need to do is go over here, background, name font, show title. Also, you can create a little bit of space. So on the chart, so you can see here on margins, I put it to 35 and I click fixed margin. I'll show you what that's for. And you can actually change all the different colors in there as well. So if you want to change the colors of what's on the chart, you can change all of that and do it there inside of the setup there. When I talk about this margin, so normally when you look at the charts, it's like right up against here. So what I do is I add a little bit of margin there. That way it gives me a little bit more room so the chart isn't lining up right on the side here, and it gives me a little bit more space so I can see the price action a little bit better. Kind of works better if you zoom in there. So instead of this being, right up against the side there, it'll give me a little bit of space. That way when the price is moving or if I have lines set up, I can see kind of overall. Also, if you want to add EMAs, adding EMAs is very simple. You're going to go here to study configuration. Go to study configuration. You can go in here. You can add moving average. Just click there, select, and you can change it around to whatever moving average you want. I use the 9 EMA and the 20 EMA. That's the exponential moving average, and you can set it up there. Different people use different tweaks with their EMAs and stuff like that. You can also add the view app. It's all over here on the left. That'll be the studies. You just go over here and you can move it over to the right, and you just boom, and it adds stuff to the chart itself. Again, how do I add the little triangle so I can see my entries and exits? Very simple. Go back into study configurations, press price configure, and click show trades, show orders. Boom, that's done. So that's pretty much what you can do with the chart. You can customize this exactly how you want. You can do whatever you want. You can really get crazy here. I've seen people who have all types of different charts and the way they lay them out. It's really a personal preference. Necessary evils for when using SureTrader is you gotta understand how it's gonna work with margin, how it's gonna work with liquidation. And the issue here, let's say you have $2,000. That means you get 6 times margin. You're gonna have a $12,000 account to trade with. Now, this is great if you're making money, but if you are losing money, you're gonna lose money a lot faster and you're gonna blow up your account. You need to keep your account above $500 at all times if you want to use margin. Anything below $500 makes it so you can basically not use margin. I would highly suggest if you are going to start using SureTrader to make sure that you're using at least $1,000 minimum. And then really you have to be very careful because the commissions, the fees will add up very fast. And even with $1,000, you can blow up your account very fast. Because if you get 6 times margin, you can lose it all very quickly trading these types of stocks that we trade. So you need to always keep that in mind. What's your margin? And also remember, there's going to be margin restrictions. So let's say SureTrader thinks VT is very volatile. What are they going to do? They're going to restrict the margin. Also, you can go up to the top there, click on the little envelope, and it'll give you what stocks are restricted for the day. You can see RCON is 1-to-1. It'll give you all of that, and you'll have a whole list as well. And also, another tip that I give people is I like to put it down here. I like to go up here to order template and set this up. So order template is going to let me set up my montage. I'm going to go here to limit. I'm going to put 1,000 shares. So basically, automatically, I'm always going to have 1,000 shares in there as my default order, and my default route will always be limit. So there you go. So now you can see when I change it, it's going to pop up there always showing 1,000 shares. And you can adjust that. You can put 500 shares, 1,000, 2,000 shares, whatever your kind of minimum order normally is, you can adjust that inside of the order template setup. Also, if you're using margin on SureTrader, so let's say you have a $1,000 account, you have $3,000 worth of GoPro stock, that your margin is brought to 2-to-1 margin by 330. If you don't do that, they're going to liquidate your position and they're going to charge you $50. A lot of people talk about this as being an issue, like SureTrader has all these fees and all of these different rules. You have to follow the rules or you're going to pay the price. Another thing, it's very simple and easy to set up hotkeys. If you want to set up a hotkey, you go up there to your hotkey window. Click on the top of the hotkey window, click here to add new item. Now I want to set up a hotkey to buy 1,000 shares. I'm going to put here, buy 1,000. I'm going to put my hotkey as, we'll just say command 1. I already have it set up there. And then I can go here to buy to 1,000 shares. Okay. And put symbol, price. I'm going to say the ask, my route, limit, TIFF, day plus, quantity, I'll put 0, mode, load, and send. And minimum, any. So the big thing here is, yes, you can put it to 1,000 shares. You can also set it so that you have your buying power 1/2. So let's say you have $6,000 worth of buying power. If you make this hotkey, it'll buy $3,000 worth of that stock. So you can do that by putting your buying power to 0.5 or 75, depending on whatever you want it set up as, you can do that. And then you'll press commit and it'll be done and you'll be ready to use it. Very simple. If you want to test out your hotkeys, you can test it out after hours. If you wait till like 8 o'clock at night, you can go and you can test out your hotkeys and you can make sure they're all working, because you'll be able to see on montage when it's all changing and telling you the bid and changing your price and putting your order in for you. It won't go through after 8 o'clock at night anyway, so you can test out your hotkeys then. When you trade with SureTrader for a while, when you trade with them for a month or two, you can actually hit them up and say, hey, I want cheaper commissions, and you can bargain with them and you can try to get cheaper commissions as well if you want to do that. The big thing here when you're trading with SureTrader is to remember, like I said, it's a necessary evil. There's really just no other option out there. I know a lot of people will say SureTrader is the worst. I agree. It's not amazing, but there's not really any other option out there, and they know that. So that's why they capitalize on this market where they can find people who want to open small accounts, who can't afford to open a large account. A lot of these people lose their money, and it's part of the process. I feel bad because people that end up using SureTrader, they have problems, they have issues. You've seen me have problems in the past. It's just kind of part of the process. And people ask me, why do I use SureTrader? Well, one of the reasons I use SureTrader is because I don't need to have $25,000 sitting in my SureTrader account as my basically capital to trade with. I can use that money for cryptocurrency, for other things as well. And maybe I'm an idiot for doing that, but I'm not trying to live off day trading. I don't need to make a ton of money every single day off day trading. For me, it's more about the process. It's about learning. And I think a lot of people, when they first start day trading, that's the best thing. When you first start day trading, when you're using SureTrader, don't try to get rich. Just focus on execution. Learn how to trade. Learn the process. Learn how to read the screen, how to read the charts, using the charts. The cool thing about Dash Trader Pro is you can use Dash Trader Pro at multiple brokers. So once you graduate from SureTrader, you'll be able to use this same exact platform at other brokers. People always ask me, how do I know if a stock is shortable? I can go here. It says SSR. It's going to mean this short sale restriction. So it means not shortable. If I click on that, it's going to pop up this little screen. It's going to say symbol is not shortable. Now, let's find one that is shortable. I think CRK. Now, this is going to tell me, okay, how many shares can I short? 1,000 shares total to short there on CRK. Now, sometimes you'll have to go up here and actually click shortlist and search this stock, and it'll tell you how many shares. So there, I don't know why, but for some reason there won't show up with the S here. Even if a stock is still shortable, it won't tell you unless you search for it. I'm not sure why it does that, but you can see that does it there. Follow the rules, understand the rules, understand the margin, understand you need to be done by 3:30 with 6-to-1 margin. Don't hold stuff overnight. Understand the shorting rules and understand all of the different rules and fees that add up. Because if you're getting hit with that liquidation fee, if you're getting hit with all these different issues using SureTrader, you're going to lose your money quickly. The big thing here is to just remember, just because you have the power, just because you can buy, 6 times margin does not mean you have to. I see a lot of people that are just fully maxed out. They're just banging it, give me as much margin as possible, and then they end up losing their entire account in one day. So you need to understand, with great power comes great responsibility, and that's why you see me a lot of times, I'll only trade with 1,000 or 500 shares, because I don't need to go and buy 10,000 shares just because I can, and it's more about being realistic and understanding kind of, okay, if I can get 1,000 shares, make $100, that's a good trade for me, that's what I need. I don't need to get 10,000 shares. I don't need to try to make $1,000 off every trade. It'd be awesome if I could. I would love to do that, but at this point, I'm not at that level where I'm going to be making $1,000 from every single trade. And it's really just about being realistic and understanding your skill level and understanding your experience. So when you're first starting out, understand that you just need to focus on the execution. So many people, I even have problems sometimes with execution. When you're in the moment, when it's all happening, when it's all live and you're hitting the bang, you're trying to sell or you're trying to buy. And in that moment, all that execution, everything you've learned just goes out the window because you're like flustered and it's all happening and the emotions are swirling. And the more and more that you focus on execution, the more you focus on just entering and exiting trades, the better you're going to be. It's going to become muscle memory where you can get in and out fast and you can understand what to do when things happen. When a stock is crashing, you can mentally be like, okay, it's crashing, but there's support. I can do this, and you can have your game plan. Have a plan, be ready, trade realistically, and understand SureTrader is a necessary evil. I always say that. If you have no other option, it's the best option. So that's really what it comes down to. Hopefully this helps you guys, gives you guys some ideas and some tips, some tricks, some things that I'm doing with SureTrader to make it a little bit easier to use. If you guys have any more questions, leave a comment below. I'll try to answer them.